All right. Hey, guys. We're going to dive in and take a look at crude oil. And really, the $1 million question is it kind of done going up for the moment? And does it need a retrace? And if so, how deep? So, really, the key is to find some parameters that will help advise as price continues to unfold. If it hits certain parameters, that's going to give us solid clues about what may be happening next. All right, let's dive into the daily chart first, and then we're going to drill on down to the lower time frames. All right, so here's crude oil on the daily chart. And as I was just referencing, the $1 million question is this done going up for the moment? And as I look at the daily, I've got this zone that I drew on here earlier this year, back the end of February, April. Price came up wicked above right into that zone and got rejected. Do like zones quite a lot. Of course, it depends how you draw them, doesn't it? Also, look at this line right here. Call it 80-21, which, 80-21 has also been on my chart for a couple of months, several months. And I remember very well as this triangle was unfolding, I viewed that as an important number, and boom, rejection at 80-21. Let's see, what was that high? Actually, 80-22 was the high, rejection. Now, those who were following me and in the room with Armando, who goes by the Professor Trades, we caught a lot of this short in here. And also at ElliottWaveTrader.net is another room I'm a member of. And we're always looking at Elliott Wave, of course, over there. So if you really want to follow in real time, you got to be in either one of those two clubs. In any case, so now that price came down to this supply demand zone, and also there's a fib down here, which is very helpful to know about these fibs for projections, which give great parameters. Now, I'm not trading a daily chart, but I'm always looking at the daily and then drilling down. So you can see the reaction that we had, and then now what we have is maybe another 5-wave move up after a 5-wave move down. Welcome to the world of crude oil. It's moving all over the place. Now let's just keep moving along down the time frame. Now this is interesting to me. Learning about Elliott Wave, truly a game changer, because we have a bunch of different ways to look at price, and really what we're doing with Elliott Wave is we're just trying to get an understanding of the context of price. Price on its own is just an abstraction. It's price in, relative to what? So in this case, it's current price relative to overall structure of price. So Elliott Wave, once you get an understanding of Elliott Wave, it gives you great context for price. So one of the things we use in Elliott Wave are ratios. There's a bunch of different ways to look at it. Now, this chart isn't marked up with exactly my measurements and my levels, but this ratio has been on my chart really since over here, which is just 2 weeks ago or so. I put this box thinking, well, if it comes up in this box and gets rejected, then that'll go towards supporting the idea that maybe this is a topping region. And as you can see, now here we are zooming in. Now we're on the 1 hour. So here's more details now of this 5-wave move up, potential 5-wave move up. It's not 100% for sure that it's a 5-wave move, because it could also be an ABC. And if that's an AB, then this is really just wave 1 of C, and we're getting a pullback. Sorry for the word salad. So this is what my question mark is about. Is this just gonna is it gonna get below 80-18? Because really, the way I'm looking at this is the ceiling. 82-72, 80-18 is the floor. So you got the floor, you got the ceiling, and we are smack in the middle of that. But again, if we're thinking about context, it is quite possible that this topped in an A wave, 5 up for wave A, or forget the yellow A, and this is an AB, and this is going to eventually catch support, maybe a little lower, because this could be an AB. It could even come up higher to give you a better looking 1-2. And then we go begin the wave 3 of a C, and we're just going to plow. If that's the case, when we break this high, we should be running. If we break 82.72, I think we're running, which is kind of like this idea right here on the. Now this just happens to be an 8-minute chart because I'm always moving around time frames. But the point is, if we're in that blue count, and this is either a 1-2 to higher, or if the AB in blue is already in progress, then 84, 84.50, somewhere between 80, above 84, I think would be realistic if this low holds. And if this really is just going to move higher in a 3-wave move as an ABC, then you could see from where we are now, would not be surprising to me to see $2.50. But my bias is to the downside. So really what I'm saying, I'm looking more at this. So, and I'm also counting structure as if it's this B wave in here, just as a point of reference. So the 382 of this structure, okay, from this low right here, this is the 382 of that. So if this is going to get a 3-wave ABC, it's not unusual at all for the first stop on the way down to be somewhere around the 382. So, could that happen? Could we just crap out overnight, get a move down 5 a.m., be down here, and then you can expect a bounce. We can remeasure from that once it comes down. If it makes it down here, then I'll measure for B wave, and then that'll give me a place to put the fib tool. Right now, I'm just guessing. But what I'm not guessing is this low over here is 77.27. So again, if this bounces, this would be a good short. If this comes down here and then you get a bounce, this may not be a bad short opportunity if you can trade small enough. If you can take, depending on where this tops out at. I mean, if you can take 80 cents of heat or even $1 of heat, it's not a terrible risk to reward for a short somewhere up here, with the target much lower down at these previous lows. Just call it below 78. Now let's drill down a couple more levels. Okay, this is the bullish alternative that I'm showing you. And this chart I had marked up. I did a live session earlier. Here's the ceiling. Here's the floor. Forget this little trend line that I drew on there. Actually, I kind of want to, I'm not really big on trend lines, but I mean, it doesn't, every now and then I'll throw a trend line on here just for reference, really, just so if I'm zooming in on a lower time frame, I'll be able to know where I'm at in relation to that trend line. Now, this is a 5-minute chart on crude. So the way I'm counting this is possible. It's either 3 down or it's possible 5 down. And this is definitely 3 up. So this could be a 1-2 to the downside, kind of like this, 1-2, or another way to look at it is 1-2. If that's the case, this is going to go a lot deeper than just that A wave. It's going to be a lot deeper. But I'm not predicting that. I'm just looking at that. So really, this is the floor and the ceiling that I'm looking at. Price came back up to the 100 fib. Let's see what that did. The high there is 81.60. The high there is 81.68. So it actually did make a slightly higher high there. So actually, so that's a higher high. So this is the most recent swing low. Well, technically that is. I don't know where I want to put this fib right now. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to skin this cat. Let's do it like this for the day trade scalpers, or just because you're doing it level by level and you want some parameters. Now this is super nano stuff, but this is how I do it, because I look at the daily on down. Sometimes I even look at the weekly. All right, 81. Right, that's the high, 81.68. So, I mean, this applies. If you get a 1 hour close above here, I think it's good for a scalp. Now, those are on the live video. We were talking about if this gaps up and comes up to here, it'd be worth a short. We did that. It did. Well, I can't see the gap on this brokerage, but it did gap up. Whatever it did, I shorted it up here. Already took it off for 22 pips. And I'm leaving I call it a runner. I'm leaving that on there, break even for the moment. So now, now that this has made a slightly higher high, I'm measuring from this low to this high. So, we're still in this zone between the floor and the ceiling. So what you really want to see, if you're me and you're short, you want to see this come back down and just plow right through that 618 there. And then you want to see it overnight come down and get through this level. If it can do that, then I think this 100 fib, now these red fibs right here are my buddy Armando's fibs. He goes by the Professor Trades. The white fibs are Elliott wave related. But that's interesting here. And then to me, if this wants to keep on coming, this is really the target for my runner. If this is going to really roll, really roll, 81.60. And if this is going to basically invalidate any of that upside bullish potential that I just talked about, then it's going to wreck this structure, any bullish structure. It's going to wreck it, and it's going to break these levels, right? Now, am I going to stay up all night looking at this? Heck no, I'm not. This only gets you to 2:30 in the morning. But, we'll see what happens around the first 9 to 9:30 Eastern time window, and then after midnight, and then Europe just over towards 3:30 a.m. We'll see where we're at in the morning. I'm quite happy to take 22 overnight and then leave at break. Actually, you know what? I almost never leave it at break even. I just move it down 5 pips or something, just so, try not to ever let a winner turn into a loser. But anyway, these are levels I'm watching, and really this is the ideal target if my runner is going to do well. If my runner is going to run, 80.73 is the target zone, just somewhere down in here. Actually, before I go to bed, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put an OCO order in for, I think my basis is 81.65, and I will put my stop at 81.60, and I probably just will put a stop there. The odds of it coming all the way down here. Anyway, maybe I'll put a take profit order down here or slightly above that level, 80.78, 81.60. Why not? What would that be? 80 some points overnight if this can't even get back up above this level. This level was resistance, right? Then at the open, we just spiked up to this next level of resistance, got rejected. Then we're coming down. It looks like we're going back up to test again. So, but look, guess what? Low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Whole bunch of higher lows. And this is 8 cents higher high over that. So this was a lower low, but now it's made a higher high. So if it wants to go, that's what this buy order is about. If you get up now, I'm probably not going to see this because I'll be sleeping. But if this wants to come back up and get a 1 hour close, if you're in Europe and trading this crude oil in the Europe session, if you get a 1 hour candle close up in this box or above this level, I think it's likely just scalp. I think it's good for something, because why wouldn't it just keep coming? This is almost looking like a triangle of sorts. But if it wants to break out, it probably is good for 20, 30, 40 pips. Well, I keep forgetting this is a 5-minute chart. So if you went long in here, if you can get 20 pips, 25 points, you can do it every day. That's all you need, honestly. Ask me how I know. And just take half. As soon as you hit 20, take half and then leave the other half on. Boom. Okay. All right, guys. That's what I got on crude. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you checking out my channel. And I make these updates during the week. If this is providing any kind of value for you with these parameters on crude oil, I also cover other instruments as well. But if you want to make sure you don't miss anything, just subscribe so you'll get a notification whenever I'm posting a chart like this. And occasionally I'll be doing live sessions as well. I just started doing that. Did my first one in earnest earlier towards before the Open, and I covered multiple instruments in that. So if you want to learn more about Elliott Wave and get some parameters, even if you just want to follow me to hop on here and get these parameters, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. You won't miss a beat. All right. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye-bye.